don't know what you're talking about.
Paul,
you have no idea what you're talking about. You know what?
Hello. Oh. We're going to start right away with that. Okay.
Hello. I'm tired of the glass busting. I really am. I got to find a different one. So until that happens, we're probably going to intro with the hee-haw, with the hee-haw lady. And, you know, she might not be alive anymore because that video is from at least the 80s, if not the 70s.
How do we get her on the show?
I would love to get her on the show and us do a live recording of her hee-hawing so we can get a live hee-haw.
In your sweaty-ass garage.
So I'll tell you what, it's been 80 degrees the last 2 days. I got the fan on medium because if I turn it on high, it blows everything off my desk.
Right.
And we're getting into the sweaty ball season for the Jabberhammer in this podcast because I'm in my hot-ass garage in North Carolina with a ceiling fan. I do have my little swamp fan I'll put down on the ground beside me and get it going. But listen, it's getting toasty up here.
It is so amazing. Today was 75 fucking degrees, and it was absolutely fucking glorious. I think it's going to get cold next week for us in dirty South Jersey, but it was glorious. I got shorts on. It's just what a good day.
We're headed down to Greenville. Well, we're headed down to Piedmont, South Carolina tomorrow, which is around the Greenville area, Spartanburg. And we're going to pick up a new puppy dog.
Yeah, the new dog.
It's a Havanese. I talked Sarah and Audrey, my daughter, into why don't we camp Friday because we're going down tomorrow.
Oh, shit.
And picking up the dog Saturday morning and heading home. I said, let's camp Friday. They agreed. It's going to be light and variable winds, not a cloud in the sky here in Holly Springs. Saturday, starting at 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. I'm sorry. Friday, tomorrow, from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., chance of rain. So we're going to get to this campsite with two people that do not even want to be camping.
I cannot
Everybody's going to be in the truck while I set all the shit up in the rain. Setting a tent up in the rain is stupid because then the tent fills up with water. That's why I have a hammock. I'm sure what's going to happen is they're going to end up in the car sometime in the night.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be Carter in the tent.
Yeah.
And it's going to be raining, and we're not going to get there until late because of school and work and stuff. I mean, it's probably going to be the worst camping trip that we could have ever done. It's probably going to ruin them, but hopefully it turns out okay. I am going to build a fire, and we're going to cook breakfast, and then we're going to pack up and go get our new Havanese, which is a small, teeny dog, like 10 to 13 pounds, and his name is Oscar. So we're going to have Oscar and Otis.
I dig it. Hey, if you guys want to help out, pay for some of Paul's divorce legal fees, make sure to sign up.
Okay, Drunkwood. Fuck you. You and Drunkwood, y'all can kiss my ass.
Sign up for the Patreon. This month, not this month, April, which is just around the corner, April 5th will be the second episode of Last Call with Alex and Paul. The show you can only get access if you are a Patreon member, so go check that out. And I think that's all the intros. We've got Captain Andrew here. Andrew, how are you?
Good, how are you?
And to be clear, it's not Captain Andrew from Buffalo, New York, from the series Angler.
No.
We got another Captain Andrew.
Yeah.
From St. Petersburg, Florida, via South Carolina, who's a tugboat. And am I saying that right, Captain Andrew? Is it a true tugboat? Is that what you are?
So in the industry, you'd call it a towboat or a push boat, but generally speaking, everybody refers to it as a tugboat.
So all the assholes that aren't tugboat personnel call it a tugboat. And then the people that actually do the job know better and call it by what it actually is.
Correct.
I'm going to be the asshole from the bank calling it a tugboat all night.
How do we set up a Captain Andrew showdown to figure out who's the actual
better
captain, Andrew. Yeah, the actual captain of Bass and Bruce. We get both Andrews to, I don't know, it'd have to be a series of events.
And they're two different captains, because Captain Andrew up in Buffalo from Serious Angler is driving his bass boat on the Great Lakes.
Yeah.
It's not a skater, it's a Vexus. He's driving it on the Great Lakes, catching huge smallmouth. And then we got Captain Andrew from the tugboat captain, who's driving his shit on the Intercoastal Waterway in the summer, pushing 100 million pound barges worth trillions of dollars in metal,
like no offense,
on the Chesapeake Bay.
No, not the Chesapeake Bay. He said he's from Florida.
Yeah, but he tugs from North Carolina to. Tell him where you tug from, Captain.
Yeah,
from North Carolina, north up through Jersey, Chesapeake Bay, Intercoastal Waterway. We run to Norfolk, Baltimore, Philly.
Okay, I've probably dealt with you before. That's funny. I used to be at the sector Delaware Bay in Philly, the Coast Guard sector there. Yeah,
right on.
Well,
so when you see the Coast Guard captain, do you flip them off, or are you excited when they want to come talk to you and hang out? How does that come from a civilian captain?
So they rarely ever board us when we're underway. They pretty much leave us alone. We've got our annual scheduled inspections. We've got our hull inspections twice every 5 years. And outside of that, unless we mess up, we don't ever see them.
So what you're saying is, if you keep your shit right, ain't nobody going to fuck with you.
Pretty much. I mean, they can. They just don't.
No, there's bigger fish to fry other than the guy who's doing it correctly. Like, it's very rare. Like, we'll fuck with wreck boats left and right, but like the commercial guys, like you guys are out there making a buck, like, because we can pull up those boats, right? So we can pull up, like Captain Andrew, we can pull up his vessel and figure out when the last time it was inspected, all of that. So even when we see his AIS go off, right, and that shows where he's at, I can go look him up and be like, oh, he's good on everything. No reason to even fuck with that guy.
Hey, Alex, do y'all patrol the Intercoastal?
Yeah.
So y'all would patrol that? Well, yeah. I mean, the Intercoastal, I guess, goes the whole Intercoastal.
Well,
well, why don't we ask the man that knows, that traverses it? Where does the Intercoastal start and where does it end, Captain?
It starts at Miami, the tip of Florida, and goes all the way up through the Chesapeake Bay, up through the C&D Canal, Delaware River. Once you get up there, I don't know where it goes anymore.
So once you get to the Delaware River, you can take the Cape May Canal and actually ride the Intercoastal all the way up to Bayonne, New Jersey, right by New York, and then it stops there.
And that's a man-made. Intercoastal's a man-made thing that was done over. Any idea what's the history on it? Can y'all recall that off the top of your heads?
I have no idea what the history of it is.
No. Why the fuck did I invite you on this podcast then?
It's semi.
The hell, man! Now I got to go look that shit up on Google instead of listening to y'all talk about it. And now our fans aren't going to get the history. Let me go look it up. Well, y'all talk while I go educate our people.
He's the fucking worst. I apologize, Andrew. You know,
you don't have to. Andrew has known me longer than you have. He knew me when I was 180. He knew me when I was 180 pounds in high school.
Oh shit! You knew Paul when he was 4?
Yeah, that's right. Close to it.
Shit, I was taller at 4 than Alex is now, though.
You look like a string bean back in high school.
Yeah, now I'm as big. I was bigger around as my leg in high school now.
I'm the same way. I was a peanut back then. I was 140 pounds soaking wet.
How did you get started working boats?
Accidentally, to be very honest. Yeah. I thought I was applying for a totally different position. And there was a typo.
Were you a captain already?
No. I worked for a beer company pushing beer. And I just had enough of it one day and sat home for about a week unemployed and responded to an ad in the newspaper for what I thought was a dockhand, like tying up sailboats and yachts at a marina. And apparently it was a typo. It was supposed to say deckhand. So I submitted the app and got the job. And they asked me if I could leave, a day or two from now. And I was like, what do you mean leave? Leave where? And they're like, well, hop on the boat. I'm like, I didn't know what they were talking about. They explained the premise. And I was like, oh, shit. Yeah, why not? We'll give it a shot. And that was 18 years ago.
That's pretty sweet. That's because
So
like
you
sometimes
did you
these jobs are hard to
misread?
get.
Hold on. Did you misread it as dockhand or was it a typo?
It's up to interpretation. I don't know if it was a typo or if I misread it, but in my mind, that's not what I was applying for.
So you started
God
as
damn! Thank goodness
yeah.
there wasn't an I in there.
Right.
Applying
right.
for a dick hand. Boy, that would have been a funny ass. All right, sir. Well, how big is your hand? Okay, well, the biggest one that you can hold.
That would be a whole different. You know, he'd be a whole different kind of tug captain at this point. He'd be a
that's
whole
right.
different tug captain.
Whole different job description.
But that's cool that you started as deckhand, and then you obviously got your license after your captain's license after that, or
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You go from deckhand to apprentice mate to master.
gotcha.
How long does that take, or how long did it take you at least?
I was on the deck for probably a year and a half, 2 years, and then apprentice mate is another probably year and a half, 2 years, and then mate is another, I don't know, year and a half, something like that. It was probably a 5 or 6 year process to get fully licensed.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of a
awesome.
long ass time too.
Yeah,
Well-
I mean, you're getting paid the whole time,
Right.
You know,
And you're
about
also
the same
in
amount of
charge of
time
like
as college.
either transporting in one way or another. You're in charge of transporting what could be catastrophic if shit goes wrong. Like
Absolutely, yeah,
Yes.
for sure. Yeah,
What-
when we have mess ups, they're not small; they're big.
they're gnarly, and they could happen at any moment too. Like we had the motor vessel Texan. This is in Philadelphia, and they had just pushed too close up to the mooring, and they took this swell from a tanker moving by, and this tanker, like listed over and hit the fucking bollard in the pier and poked a fucking hole in it and just started leaking everything into the Delaware River. This is probably in like, it got to be like 2010, 2009, and it was fucked up. And when we showed up to do the assessment, I felt bad, but the captain of that fucking boat is legitimately crying because your fucking career is done after that. Like you are toast. You're not getting a job anywhere. It was crazy.
Yep.
So explain to us, you're in a push boat, tugboat, towboat. What the hell are you pushing, tugging? Like tell us what it is you actually do, because if you just say tugboat, I think of the boats that have 35 tires on the outside of it, that the kind of the old timey tugboat is what I have in my mind. And you go live on TikTok a lot, and so we get to see your face, and we get to see what's behind you. And I guess it's metal, it's all kinds of shit. So explain to us, give us a picture of your boat and what it is that you're doing.
So what you're picturing is not inaccurate. Those still exist. The little cartoon boat with tires around it, those are generally ship assist boats or offshore tugs that are towing a barge behind them on a wire or a hawser. My boat is more square shaped. I don't have that pointy bow. We've got a flat front, 2 push knees, and we made up flat to the back of a barge. We got face wires that hold us onto that go to big winches, and then we got stern wires that go to winches on the stern of the boat. But our boat looks like a big Lego. Really, it's just a big cube, essentially.
Doesn't sound like it cuts through the water very good.
It doesn't. It does not at all. If you're a light boat, it is like smashing your face into a brick wall over and over again.
Fuck that, yeah.
Oh, great! That's
nice.
pretty much every Saturday after a tournament of me fishing. When I get back to the ramp,
owned.
is beating my face against the fucking porta-john.
We don't have tires around our boat, but a lot of push boats do have tires around them. Ours is a more, I guess, like fabricated rubber. It's made out of tires, but instead of whole tires on the side, it's pieces of tires that are smashed together into these long cubes.
Oh,
essentially, that are bumpers. It just looks like a big build-a-block. It's a little narrower up top and wider on the bottom.
So y'all had a northern redneck make your tires.
Yeah, that's right. They last a lot longer that way. They don't get hung up on everything.
Very true.
Yeah, but if one gets torn off, you just roll up to the bank and go find one sitting on the shore.
Yeah, that's right.
You
Most
roll
of
into
those are
Chester.
airplane tires.
Are they?
Airplane tires. Why are the fuck
Yeah,
are
when
they
you
airplane tires?
Because they're way, way thicker and more
Oh,
robust.
you're
than a
talking
car
about
tire.
on the tugboats or airplane tires.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
When
right.
I was a wildland firefighter, drink
Oh,
bitches.
there it is.
When I was a wildland firefighter, I was a dozer operator, and we had pull behind plows, and all the pull behind plows that we had airplane tires on them because they were indestructible. I mean, you didn't have to ever worry about them. Indestructible. Sure enough, airplane tires. Did you see that airplane tire fucking flew off that Boeing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Take off. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some issues with Boeing. I'm gonna tell you that much.
There is. If you're taking a flight, if they're taking a flight, you check your plane.
I was on 2 Boeings on my way home.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but were they older Boeings or were like the 2014 to 2020 737 Maxes? Because those right there take lives.
No, listen, Captain Andrews.
I'm watching a documentary about those right now as we speak.
Yeah. Listen, he's a captain. He was in a Lear jet, some private shit. He had his he had his MGD. Was in a champagne glass.
That is definitely not how that works.
We were talking earlier, Captain, about you being in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Right.
What kind of fishing are you doing down there? You doing saltwater? You doing offshore? You doing freshwater? You do a little bit of everything. What kind of fishing you getting into that down in that area? Because we haven't talked to anybody, to my knowledge, that I can remember on that Tampa, that West Coast side of Florida.
No, we haven't.
We do a little bit of everything. So I've only been here since August.
Okay.
We've only moved here in August, which, in my time means I've only been home for like 4 weeks.
Right.
Since, 6 weeks or whatever. Last time I was home was really the first time I got to go fishing since we moved down here, because the last few times there was a bunch of repairs that had to be done to the house when we bought it. So finally got all that stuff figured out and went and did some fishing last time. And fished sheephead one day, crappie and bass the next day, and then offshore bottom reef fishing the third day. So
fucking trifecta right there.
But that's not much different than where you were before in the Charleston area. I mean, it's the same thing. You can go bass fishing, you can go inshore, you can go inlet fishing, and then you're 3.5 hours to the Gulf.
That's right. The difference is I could still see land when we were bottom fishing offshore, 4 miles off the beach, versus being 60 miles out of Charleston.
I know. Do you get seasick ever?
I've never been seasick.
Fuck you.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know if I just don't get seasick or what, but I've never been seasick. I do prepare for it. I take a bowline the night before the offshore trip and a bowline the morning of. And I've done that since I was a child. That was my grandfather's remedy, and I've never been seasick. So I don't know if it's the bowline or if it's I don't get seasick, but I'm not finding out.
Listen, I get seasick, right? And it went away, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, that's so cool! You don't get seasick." And it's like, no, motherfucker, you prep. Like, you take your shit ahead of time. You always get dumb motherfuckers who are like, "We'll be away from the pier 12 hours into getting underway," and they're like, "Oh shit, I'm not feeling good." I'm like, "Did you take anything?" And they're like, "No, I'm gonna take it now." It's fucking.
They're gonna throw it up. Yep, they're gonna throw it up.
Too late.
You're gonna puke it up.
There's a lot of things that would piss me off in the Coast Guard, but nothing pissed me off more of when I would tell somebody like, "Hey, do you get seasick?" And they're like, "Yeah, I do." Okay. And I would baby them like 24 hours prior to the underway day, send them a text like, "Yo, bro, take some fucking pills now. Take one now and then take one in the morning before we leave and you'll be fine." And then fucking a day into underway and then, "I'm fucking so sick." Yeah, you dipshit. That would fucking drive me up the wall. All right, off.
That's a short ass wall.
Fuck off. Hey, how big's your boat?
It's 50 feet long, 24 wide, and about 34 tall.
How many people do you have on there?
He sounds like you're describing me.
How many people you got on there with you?
4, counting me, 4 or 5.
4. Gotcha.
4 is standard, and then 5 if we're running an apprentice. Which we do have an apprentice on my boat right now.
Nice.
When I told Alex,
hold on, I'm still asking questions. Thank you, dickhead.
Hey, I gotta go grab a White Claw Surge.
Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody fucking cares.
Nobody asked you. Let the man answer the question you ask him and quit being a dick.
Hey, you guys ever fish off of it when you're out?
Oh
or no?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. We get a lot of downtime in Moorhead waiting on ships to come in, and the fishing there is world class.
That's awesome. Is it your boat or are you captaining for a company?
Captaining for a company.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't want to own my own boat. That seems like a headache.
I don't think there's a lot of like independent like guys doing that, like doing the longer haul ones. I don't think there's a lot of.
Yeah, I know two. I know one in Florida and I know one up in Virginia. But outside of that, it's mostly companies that own the boat and then hire people to run them.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. Like all the insurance you have to have, plus the headache of like the regulation and all that other stuff. Like, and again, to have like to be financially responsible for all that is so much fucking money. Because the U.S. like we don't make it easy, and it's to keep everybody safe and all that shit. But the regulations are like through the ass. It's insane.
Oh yeah, we've got a full-time support staff on the hill, taking care, doing what they can to make sure that we've got everything we need. I can't imagine owning the company while running the boat and keeping up with all that at the same time.
It's fucking crazy.
Nightmarish.
Who cooks?
So do you ever go fishing off of your boat?
Fuck you, Paul. Who cooks you guys? Is it like the most junior person?
It's a deckhand position, and they rotate off. It's up to the captain who they want to cook, but I just let them figure it out amongst themselves. Some guys like it, some guys don't. As long as there's a meal on the table at some point in the day, I kind of let them do whatever they want to do.
What if they cook a really shitty ass meal? Do they get?
Oh, it happens. What
happens? Because I mean, that's your food. Does somebody else cook another meal, or do y'all just sit there and eat their shitty food and stare at them and be like, "You motherfucker, I'm gonna."
Generally, if it's really bad, somebody will do what like myself and the relief captain. We both like to cook. We'll try to do what we can to like doctor it up if it's doctorable. If not, it goes overboard, and we'll do frozen pizzas that day or something. But a lot of these deckhand positions, these are young guys. They're 18, 19 years old, right out of high school. They've never had to cook for themselves. So, I mean, as long as they're willing to learn, I mean, the tugboat's a great place to learn. I mean, we don't really have a grocery budget. We've got all the food in the world you could want. So if you burn a pot of rice, no big deal. Chuck it overboard and make a new pot of rice.
Can y'all have alcohol on the boat?
No.
It's usually a no-no on about any boat I've ever heard of, except
do you have alcohol on the boat?
No.
Just joking.
So you can have alcohol on some vessels, but you're not going to see that in the towing industry because we work a 6-hour on and 6-hour off schedule. So in the eyes of the law, even if you consumed an alcoholic beverage in your off time, you don't have enough window of time off to be considered safe to operate a boat anyways. So
because again, if you guys get in trouble, like let's say you hit something or something, right? God forbid that ever happened to you, but let's say like you're instantly going to be pissed. You're going to be drug and alcohol tested like within an hour of the
depending on the extent. Yeah, depending on the extent of the damage.
Right.
Yeah, you got to urinate real quick. And we've got alcohol tests on board that we can administer. And then drug tested within a certain time frame, and that depends on how much money and damage you did. If it's under $100,000, then you don't have to. If it's over $100,000, then you do.
That's it.
$100,000 is real easy to do real quick.
I was about to say, how easy is it to get to $100,000 in damage on a big ass tugboat?
About that fast. I watched the whole marina go underwater one time, and it took probably about 3.5 seconds for it to happen.
Yeah.
We had pieces of Grady White and Yamahas and shit scattered all over the place.
You didn't.
It wasn't me. No, it wasn't me.
That's what Shaggy said.
We had a boat hit another one, and it was a tanker, and the pilot was actually like piloting the tanker. So a pilot is like it depends on the port you're at. For everybody listening, it's like you have to have these people be the captain of the boat as it's operating certain areas, right? For foreign flag or whatever. And the pilot was like, oh, yeah, we lightly bumped this other boat at anchor. Not a big deal. It was under the $100,000, right? So they didn't have to. And then when we go to look at the boat, it's got fucking like 6-inch open gashes all the way downside the boat. And we're like, there's fucking no way. We couldn't find the pilot at all. Eventually they found the pilot. The dude was high as fuck. And that was his way of like trying to like sober up in time by fucking lying to us, basically. But it doesn't matter.
Right.
Once you lie, you're fucking toast. Like when you go in, I mean, they were like 6 inches, top to bottom, and then like 15 feet across this tanker of just open fucking gash. It was so stupid.
Yeah, that's not smart.
Hey, so you're a captain. Can you go buy a bass boat and go be a captain down in Florida on a bass boat? Does like being a captain of a boat transfer to captain?
No. So
not even
right
if it's
now,
a smaller boat than your
Nope.
captainized for?
It depends, but here's what would prevent me from being able to do that. Like right now, if I wanted to buy a boat tonight and be a captain of it tomorrow, what prevents me from being able to do that with my license is I don't have an OUPV designation on it. When you hear people talk about 6-packs, everybody and their brother's a 6-pack captain.
Yeah.
That 6-pack means they can carry 6 people. It's a passenger designation. I don't have a passenger designation.
Oh.
Now I could go take a test and have one next week. It's
Right.
not a big deal. I just haven't. I might one day. I don't know. I'm not really good with people, so maybe not.
Andrew, are you married?
I am married.
Do you walk around the house with that captain hat on and be like, listen, I'm the fucking captain?
Yeah, I tried that. It didn't go over very well.
She looks at you dead in the eyes and says, I'm the captain.
Yeah.
I'm the captain now. Yeah, that's right.
Did she smack the hat off your face and pick it up and put it on her and be like, look, bitch?
She probably would have if she was tall enough to reach it.
Oh, so she's like Alex's height then.
Would you shut the fuck up?
Look, Alex can motorboat his wife standing on his tippy toes.
And she's only 5'4".
That's hilarious. My wife's 4'11".
Hey, so is mine. Bo, look at this. How tall are you, Andrew?
I am 5'9".
Okay, I'm a little bit taller than you.
Yeah, I'm not nearly as tall as you are.
Yeah, me and Captain Andrew are the same height. You gonna fucking make fun of him?
No.
Okay.
You're not.
Why? Because he's a captain?
100% yes.
All right, touche.
Yes. My wife is 4'11" as well. Does her name end in or like Sarah?
Yeah. Marisa.
There you go. Marissa.
Yep.
I guarantee you, she is mean as shit.
Yep. That she wants to be.
Yeah. Look, when you're 4'11", you have to have an attitude on you.
Yeah, you're smelling farts all day.
My wife still to this day is 40 years old, 41 years old, somewhere in that range. And people will still look at her and go, "Oh, aren't you cute?"
That's funny.
And I'm like, "Oh fuck, I'm leaving.
You're done. I'm leaving." Yeah, that's when you run. Hey, what's the accommodations like on board? Like, is everybody sharing like a stateroom with bunks in it, or does everybody have their own room?
So we've got 3 staterooms on board. 2 of the rooms have 2 bunks each,
Gotcha.
and then 1 room has 1 bunk. That's my room.
That's your room.
And then
You don't share on your boat, huh?
I don't. That's one of the perks of being in charge. I shared rooms with other guys for many, many years, so I don't have to anymore. I'm digging.
Now, do you have your boat that is the only boat that you operate?
Yep.
Does somebody else operate that boat when on the 2 weeks you're not operating?
Yeah. So our crew consists of myself, the head captain, a relief captain who holds the same exact license I have, and then a mate. The mate he can stand his own watch, but he can't be the master of the vessel essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm gone, the relief captain basically steps up to head captain, and then the mate steps up to the relief spot.
Gotcha.
And then when I come back, the mate will go home, and the relief captain will bump back down to the back watch position.
All right. Well, you mentioned you've been doing this for 18 years, you said?
Yep.
So that's a lot of sailing.
A lot.
It's a lot of sailing. So as from one sailor to another, is it a happy sock or are you using paper towels? Which one? What's the deal?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. That's why you giggled. Every sailor has taken over a rack from somebody, gone and put their sheets in, lifted it up, and somebody left a happy sock.
I have definitely definitely flipped over a mattress once or twice full of paper towels underneath it for sure.
Yeah. See, paper towels I think is unhygienic. I like the starched out sock.
What about the double P's? Y'all don't use double P's? It's 2024.
What are you talking about?
Pocket pussy.
Well, no, if he's got a guy.
Knows.
Well, I'm sure. Okay, hold on.
That's what Actually, I've got deck hands for.
That's
what? Hold on. What?
Dick hands. He's got dick hands for.
Dick hands.
Captain Andrew's out there putting in typos on purpose to see who he gets fucking showing up on the boat. But Paul, to answer your question, to use that, I feel like is pretty rude because you got another dude sleeping either right above you or below you, and if you just whip out this fucking contraption, like that's no bueno.
So the way we work it on our boat is nobody is ever in a room with each other at the same time. So
that's a good deal. Yeah,
the deckhands share a room and they're on opposite watches, and then like my relief captain and my apprentice mate share a room, so they're on opposite watches. So unless we're like tied up for the night and we're not running watches, then they can work it out amongst themselves if they want to share a room or not for the night. But generally speaking,
are you guys like the military? When you pull into these places, do you just go fucking buck wild and try to burn the fucking town down that you pulled into and then get back? No. You guys
it
are
used
losers.
to be that way. Like when I first started out here, it was kind of the Wild West. I mean, it was chaotic. I mean, I've seen some crazy shit happen when we hit the dock. But it's at least for our company, anyways. It's just not like that anymore.
Yeah, you guys are all professional.
The industry has changed a lot in the time I've been out there. There just isn't. I mean, you'll lose your job. You come back.
Well, I'm assuming time is money, and so if you have some knucklehead or all of y'all show up late to shove off the next morning, there's probably tens of thousands of dollars just being poofed up into the fucking air if you're not out there getting your job and on time with shit.
It happens from time to time, and I actually just dealt with that not long ago. And it's not that I don't let my guys off the boat. I mean, that's my discretion whether I let guys off the boat or not. And we tie up some cool places. Baltimore, where you get loaded at. We tie up in Fells Point, which is a nice place to get off and walk around and grab a bite. But I mean, if you come back to the boat causing problems, you're just not going to be an employee for very long.
Yeah. What's the worst port or place you tie off that you're just like, man, fuck this place?
It's probably the place where we unload our barges. It's way up the Chowan River. There's no phone service. There's nothing around. If the bass fishing and crappie fishing's all right if you're into that, which you can only sit on the barge and cast your lure into the same corner of the dock so many times before you get tired of it. That gets kind of boring. I mean, it's nice for a day because it's peaceful. Nobody's calling you really, but it's been 3 or 4 days up there. You're over it.
Yeah, because offloading, you guys aren't doing anything, right? You're just
sitting there for a day or two waiting for them to finish doing what they're doing.
Do y'all just fucking eat food the whole time?
A lot of the guys do. You walk laps around the barge. I don't know.
I'm guessing you don't have a gym on board. I'm guessing.
No, there's no gym on board. We've got some free weights and a barbell rolling around out back somewhere.
Gotcha.
Inevitably,
rusted up and shit.
Yeah, that's right. Inevitably, somebody gets on I'm going to get in shape kick. They bring all this bullshit on the boat, and it lasts for about a month, and then it just gets in the way.
Y'all don't have like a little dinghy or something you can put off and go fuck around on shit like that?
We have on other boats, but we don't have one on this boat.
A kayak.
Is it the space issue? Oh, fuck yeah, get you a couple kayaks, man.
The issue with allowing something like that on there is people will disappear in the middle of the night. They'll hop on that thing and make beer runs or whatever. And
that's a good point.
Won't come back.
Yeah, we just got to lock them up. Just lock them up.
We've got a lifeboat. We used to, like I said, most of our boats used to have them. I know of a boat that has one. I won't call it any people or names, but they recently sunk it while on their way back from somewhere they shouldn't have been.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
I think there's a certain type of person that decides to have their career on the water, and no matter what, at some point there's going to be some kind of like Viking debauchery of where you're gonna try to leave that place as fast as possible because you've literally burned it to the ground.
Yes, I have definitely been caught up in the midst of we got to go right now. We have to get away from this place.
It's usually My favorite is this kid Rabalai, and we were in Kodiak, and he comes up, and there's like a group of like 10 of us, and he comes up, he's like, we got to go now. We got to go now. We're like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I just told the bartender to go fuck themselves, and I'm not paying my tab, and it's $300. We got to go fucking now. And we're like, oh shit, it's like 2:00 in the morning. We get out, and we're going to like try to scurry away into the dark, and then we're fucking dipshits, and it's still light outside because it was summertime, so it's like just bright all the fucking time. So we're trying to like find garbage cans to like hide behind as like these two big gnarly fucking dudes are looking for us.
All right, Captain. We have you on here partly because of what you do on TikTok. And when I messaged Alex about having you on, Alex says he goes live on a tugboat. And Alex's Coast Guard brain kicks in and is like, is he allowed to do that? If you go check out your lives, because you don't do a lot of posting. We talked about this in the green room, so I want you to tell how all this started. But your live streams go on for hours, and you'll have a few couple hundred people in there sometimes.
Yeah, it fluctuates. I mean, sometimes I'll have 10 people, and sometimes I'll have 300 people, and everywhere in between. And
the times that I've hopped on, it seems like you get a lot of the same repeat questions.
Oh yeah,
about what you do.
Same thing over and over and over again.
So what made you want to do that?
So I've had TikTok, I guess, for about a year now, but it was a private profile, no profile picture. I was just an anonymous user, 6 trillion and whatever. And I was this past year during TikTok had an event called Live Fest where all these creators were like battling each other and whatnot. And there's a person here locally that was a part of it. He's got a pretty solid following. And he was a part of that. And I had noticed that like he's a charter captain. I noticed that he wasn't chartering a bunch during that. And I was like, I wonder why. And talking to him, that point of TikTok had was lucrative enough for him that he could justify like not chartering
away. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. And I was like, damn, really? There's like money like that. I didn't even realize like it could be lucrative like that. I was like, damn, there's money like that to be made. And after talking to this gentleman, I'm like, maybe I should give this a shot. And about Christmas time, maybe a week before Christmas, I, put up a profile picture, pulled an old video out of my archives and let TikTok do its little editing and added a song to it. And I don't know, that thing had like 600 views within a day or two. And I was like, interesting. Let me see if I can get enough to go live. And I think by the time I got back to the boat, so I was off for Christmas. So over that 2-week period of time, I had gotten 1,000 followers that I needed to be able to go live.
Hold on, this motherfucker changed his name from user 983475312886697, no profile picture, private, 0 followers, puts up one fucking video, comes back 2 weeks later, has over 1,000 followers.
Quit slamming on the desk.
This is what happens when you have a fucking job that is interesting.
So I wasn't even at my job then, really. So I was home for the holidays. So I had posted the one video of like the tugboat, and you can go look at it. It's my first one. It's like, I don't know. I probably took it on an iPhone 5 or something. It's super grainy. The quality's shit. I think I did a couple little videos of like my wife and I had gone to see some Christmas lights or something. So I threw a couple of those in there with some cute little music. And really, I just started jumping into other people's lives and watching, looking for people that were successful with their lives and trying to figure out why they were.
There are times.
And just interacted with those people. And I think I got as many followers just through interacting in other people's lives as I did from my videos.
Hey, Paul.
Shut up. I'm not turning this shit off.
Man,
it's
Drew,
okay.
Not everybody knew, obviously, because I didn't know.
Oh, what is this
Paul.
going on?
Thanks, Paul. Yeah, you're playing through it. Anyways, I think that's pretty fucking cool. Paul, you're fucking killing me.
Yeah, that's probably my best video to date. I haven't posted a video in I don't know, a month or two.
Years.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's been years.
It's been a while.
But you go live every day you're on the boat though, right?
Yeah, almost every day. I haven't been live in about 5 or 6 days, actually. I started having people messaging me asking me if I was like alive and whatnot, and I'm like, yeah.
Isn't that funny when you have a break, you take a break and you start getting messages, hey buddy, I just want to make sure you're all right.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice, it lets me know people want to see, what I've got to show them. But we were just tied up for bad weather. It was raining. You couldn't see shit. I'm like, what am I could sit here and talk to people. And honestly, I've done that too. I mean, I've had some lives at night where looking out the camera, you don't see nothing but black. These people can't see anything. It just looks dark. Every now and then you see a blinking red light go by or a blinking green light go by, and they'll sit there with hours and talk and interact. And I'm like, all right, this is what y'all want. This is what I'll give you. Throw the phone in the closet when I'm home.
Well, yeah, there are those people that say that just have a black screen and they're live and they're talking like, we don't do shit in here. Don't ask for us for nothing. We don't do nothing. Anyway, one of the lives that I hopped on was when they had a big grappling bucket and they were taking off whatever you had. So this is a 2-part question. Well, I don't know what the fuck. There's going to be one question in here and the other part just might be me rambling. But it was really cool, and people were just fucking enamored by this grappling bucket picking up whatever the hell was in there. Which leads me to this question: what do the barges? Do y'all have a specific material that y'all tug, barges that y'all tug, or does it vary from anything from rocks to metal to car? Like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
So for me right now, it's a very specific things that we move. Now I've moved everything you could ever imagine throughout my career. But right now, no, never moved those. I've probably moved something that was used in the process of making them.
How about Astroglide?
Yes. Oh my God.
Nope, never moved a barge of that
If you ever get a barge of Astroglide, you've got to take pictures. You got to bring us on live. They are the greatest sponsor that they don't know they're sponsoring us. They're not giving a shit. We just shout them out all the time. So they're an unofficial sponsor of Bass and Brews. And if you ever got a barge of Astroglide, you let us know, because that would get us in the hole.
You'll be the first person I call if I ever get a barge of Astroglide.
My man. See, that's why I like this is networking.
And I want to make sure that it's not like packaged. I want like a full liquid, a liquid barge with a big spigot at the top, where that's some deckhand every once in a while has to like test it, just squirt Astroglide out of the top.
Yeah.
All right. So what is it that
your specific job
push now?
So we move scrap steel, shredded up cars and washing machines and shit. We move a product called pig iron, and we move a product called DRI. DRI is also a form of iron, and all three of those products go to one steel mill, and it's all three of those things are used in the recipe to make new steel. They make plates and I-beams and stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
Oh, man, that's pretty fucking awesome. So when these barges, how much steel or how much do these barges weigh?
So we push three different size barges, anywhere from what's called a regulation, which is a 200 by 35, up to our big hopper barges are 290 by 60. But anywhere from about 2,200 tons to about 3,000 tons, give or take a couple hundred tons.
That's insane. Yeah,
that's fucking a lot.
How much?
What happens when the weather gets bad? Do you like have to untie and be like, "Good luck, barge," or do you have to? Is that where the captaining comes in?
Yes.
God dang, so that's a hard word to say.
Because we're a push boat, and these are flat bottom barges and flat bottom boats. They're not really equipped for severe conditions. Like, we're not going to be offshore running an 8-foot. But the sounds in the bays can get pretty gnarly at times. So you've got to pick your weather windows to get up and down those. Anything over, say, we can run in 3 or 4 foot, but it's a bad idea. Anything over that, and you're going to start having a real bad day. You're going to break all your wires, all your tow gear. And then from that point, your only option is to get around on the bow and throw a hawser out and tow it, which really is not fun on a flat front push boat.
Fuck that. Hey, this just dawned on me. How much? You said the big hopper. How much?
Everybody's froze.
That's just you, Paul.
No, y'all were both froze. I was alive.
But we could see you just fine. Anyways, your big hopper, the biggest barge you have, just a rough estimate. How much Astroglide do you think could actually fit into that hopper?
That's a lot.
Like
gallons.
We're talking gallons. So like 10,000 gallons?
Oh no, it'd be way more than 10,000 gallons.
Whoa, 100,000?
Yeah, it'd be in the hundreds of thousands. I mean,
That's
I can
like
find,
a
yeah. I mean, I hold 10,000 gallons of fresh water on the boat and 13,000 gallons of fuel,
Damn.
and you could
Right.
take 3 of my boats easy and stick it in there. Yeah, you're talking hundreds of thousands of gallons.
If I send you an Astroglide sticker, can you put it behind you in your wheelhouse so when you go live, we could see that right beside a Bass and Brew sticker?
I'll put up a Bass and Brew sticker. I don't know about the Astroglide sticker.
Man,
Listen,
come on! I thought we were
we're a
buddies.
package
I
deal.
have
We're a
known you
package
as
deal.
long as I've known almost anybody in my life, and you're not going to put up. You're not going to help us out with some Astroglide.
If I owned the boat, I would gladly do it.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
How much
that
do you think
makes
it would
sense.
cost to get a Bass and Brews wrap for your tug?
Oh my god, too much. Wait, a ton.
Well,
look,
That's a
if
lot
there's
of,
anything
that's a lot
we
of
like
surface
on
area.
if there's anything we like on Bass and Brews, it's wasting money. So you give us the dimensions and we'll price it out, and maybe we'll do it like a square foot at a time.
I just think that would be the best. They're like, hey, wait, you guys got all this money from, I don't know where we got this money from, but like, what do you use it on? Like advertise and like, really? Like, yeah, we got a boat wrapped. And they're like, fuck yeah. What Bassmaster Pro has your boat wrapped?
Yeah.
Fuck Bassmaster. Captain Andrew, tugboat driver, has fucking wrapped his fucking tug with Bass and Brews. I don't know what to tell you, man. You guys got to step up your game.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's the problem. These sponsors are wrapping the wrong fucking boats. They need to be in the tugboat game.
Yeah, you talk about that'd be a hell of a poster going down the waterway.
Right?
Oh, and then put loudspeakers on the outside with just Bass and Brews playing on repeat.
Hey, I've got loudspeakers out there.
Oh, I bet
there
you
we go.
everybody would hate. One, everybody on the boat would hate our show. Two, everybody in the surrounding neighborhood, as this tug is going by at like 5 knots, going slow as fuck, just blaring our voices. Our show would implode.
It would take
and
off.
be done.
Right.
We
I
would
don't think
overtake Joe Rogan.
I think we already have, actually. I've decided
close.
because podcast numbers aren't public. I think Joe Rogan probably only has about 100 listeners.
Yeah,
He's kind of at the bottom of the
I
game.
think he's overinflating his numbers.
Yeah, probably.
Total side note, did you see, Paul, he got a new deal with Spotify? Yeah, he got a new $250 million deal.
Well, good for him. We're
Yeah,
next.
Good for him.
Good. We're next. Yeah, we're right there. We're just right on the cusp. We just need one episode to go viral, and we're right there with him.
Hey, how fast does your tugboat go? If you put
Slow
it
as- slow
down,
as
you
shit.
you slammed it down. It's like, let's get this shit. How fast are you going?
Light
And
boat
don't give
to
us
the
no
dash.
fucking stupid knots. Give us some miles per hour so all the motherfuckers around here know what you're talking about.
To be clear, I don't measure anything in knots ever. It's all, every device on my boat is miles per hour.
Thank you.
Fuck? What
Because-
the fuck?
Because the
Because it
intercoastal
probably
waterway is in statute miles. So why am I going to do the math
That
to
is
convert
true.
what distance I can travel if the screen right here beside me will just tell me?
It's a good point. Good point.
I feel like people, and I'm probably going to catch a bunch of bullshit for anybody that watches this, but I feel like people that are in the inland maritime industry that do anything in knots, they say that because they think it makes them fucking sound cool.
You're not
Posers.
lying. You're not
They
lying.
posers.
Mhm.
So all my shit's in miles per hour. The fastest I've ever seen my boat go, honestly, the best speed we make is with empty barges. And then maybe light boat if we're light on fuel, but like lightning fast, just breaking speed records, 10 and a half, 11 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I can pedal my kayak that fast.
Yes. It's
Yeah,
not that
hey,
fast.
We need to
So-
race one day. I'm gonna bring my kayak up and we're gonna race.
Winner
Quarter mile.
gets a
quarter
wrap on
mile.
the other one's boat.
Yeah.
I'll win. I'll win 100%.
Hey, shit, what the fuck? I had another really good question. I forgot it. Damn it, boy.
Oh, this just dawned on me.
Oh,
If-
yeah. No.
hold on.
I can't forget it. No,
Okay,
I can't forget
okay,
it. Remember yours because you're better at remembering your shit than I am. What kind of fish finder do you have on your tugboat?
Furunos, 2 Furunos.
The fuck is a Faruno? You don't have a Humminbird or Garmin?
Faru.
We got 2 Furuno Z something touches.
Is it just X band or is it X and S?
I have no idea.
Okay.
So
I mean,
does
It's
do you
rare
have
that I'm
side
in more
scan
than
and down imaging?
I do not on this boat. I had on my personal boat. I do, but not on the tugboat.
Oh shit! You got a personal boat?
Well, up until August, I had personal boats. I had a whole fleet of them. I sold everything when we moved to Florida.
Oh shit!
I know that sounds ass backwards. But I had a fleet of kayaks, canoe. I had a little flats boat. I had a center console bay boat.
Well, Paul. If we would have had him on in July, it would have been Andrew instead of fucking just Captain. He got rid of all his boats and he got downgraded to Captain.
What the fuck were you doing? Were you taking people on little tours, or were you guiding people? Or you just had a boat problem?
Nah, I just have a boat problem.
Yeah.
What were you fishing when you had all those boats? What were you doing? Were you kayak tournament? Were you just fun fishing? Were you offshore? What were you? Where were you at in Charleston area?
So the last place we lived was in Somerville. I lived in Mount Pleasant for a while, and then we moved out to Somerville for like the last 5 years we were there.
Okay.
But no, I've never competitively. Yeah, I've never competitively fished anywhere ever. Yeah. I've recreationally fished since I was old enough to enjoy fishing.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much do you hate the worst time I've ever had living in Charleston? Quite a bit.
I don't have any disdain towards Coast Guard. So I hear all these nightmare stories about dealing with the Coast Guard and whatnot. And I've had one bad experience in my entire career with Coast Guard, and it didn't really have shit to do with me. I just happened to be on the boat when it all went down.
No, I meant like living in Charleston, because anybody I know who, like, Charleston's a pretty big coasty town. There's a lot of boats out of there, so you have a lot of drunken sailors fucking that city up on a Wednesday night at a fucking Mexican restaurant over chips and salsa.
But that's just an addition.
Any worse than any of the Charleston frat boys and the locals and the natives that are already there, doing dumb shit and being Charlestonians.
There's already 3 colleges, major colleges in Charleston, and it ain't big enough to support 3 major colleges. 3.
When I went to my
and
first
one of them's
unit,
a Citadel, and they fucking raising hell on the weekends.
When I went to my first unit, it was in Oregon, and all these people would be like, "Oh, you're in the Coast Guard," and they're like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Okay, well, thank you for your service, but also, can you not fuck my town up? Is it at all possible not to fuck my town up?" Like, they had to do the "thank you for your service," but really they wanted to let us know, like, we know you're going to be a problem. You fucking 19-year-old piece of shit. Don't fuck up this town. But
yeah, I think they're the least of the issues in Charleston. Yeah, there's the colleges. There's just the overly entitled, born there Charlestonians.
Yeah. That's way back in the day I wanted to get stationed there, and I never did. I've always felt slighted.
It's a nice town. I mean, it was way nicer 20, 30 years ago than it is now. That's why we left. We just got tired of being there.
And now you're in St. Pete. St. Pete's fucking beautiful. I love St. Pete.
Yeah, I love it down here. My wife's from Tampa originally, so this puts her closer to all her family and friends and whatnot. And we're not really in St. Pete. I tell everybody St. Pete because nobody actually knows the town I live in. I live in a little town called Seminole, which is really between St. Pete and the beach.
Okay.
We're like 6 minutes inland from Indian Rocks Beach, Madeira Beach area.
Gotcha. Yeah, I love that area. It was really nice. And then this just hit me, right? And I hate to go back to harp on something that happened earlier, but we were talking about Happy Socks and Astroglide. If you had enough Astroglide on board, you wouldn't have a starchy Happy Sock issue on your boat, right? Because there'd be enough Astroglide to keep it moist.
I mean, I guess that's a reasonable presumption.
Yeah, so maybe the next time you guys get underway, you go down to your galley, you just get a big old bottle of Astroglide, Bass and Brews scent, and you just put it on there with one of those shampoo pumpers.
You just pour out the half-gallon size sanitizer thing. You just pour all the sanitizer out and refill it with Astroglide.
But make sure it's the Bass and Brews.
The Bass and Brews scent.
Yeah, it smells like low tide. Just what.
How funny would that be if at your place of work you dumped out the hand sanitizer and filled it full of Astroglide, so every time people went to go get hand sanitizer, they're like, "God damn it, this fucking hand sanitizer just will not drop."
This sanitizer's hot as fuck.
Hey,
right
if anybody listening,
100% guarantee you I'm going to do that.
Yes.
Hey, if anybody is listening Go to your workplace and swap out the hand sanitizer with Astroglide and film it. I want to see. I would do it, but I own my own business and I'm the only fucking employee. So it really wouldn't be funny. But anybody else,
do it to your wife. Do it to your wife, Paul, and make sure to record it.
No, because I have to live with her. No, I have to live with her.
You're asking Captain Andrew, who has to live with these guys 9 months out of the year.
Yeah, but they're on a fucking boat, and they work for him. He's in fucking charge.
He's the captain. Yeah,
yeah.
Like, all right. You just came up with a wonderful TikTok channel. You just walk into public places, doctor's office, whatever, and just as you're filling shit out, swap the bottle, and then go sit in the waiting room and film.
Well, if you go to the doctor's office and do that, you're going to have at least 4 or 5 hours of content film, because that's about how long it's going to take you to go see the doctor for 30 minutes and get a thumb up your ass.
How fucking old are you, Paul, that you're complaining about how long?
I wouldn't even go in to see the doctor. I would just walk in and lie about having an appointment.
Yeah,
swap their shit out and then film it.
Andrew is a I'm sorry, Captain Andrew is a fucking social media genius. He's already got this idea. He figured out how to make tugboat captaining exciting on that end of watching a live stream of it. Like, you're a wizard. You're a wizard, Harry.
I'm definitely not the only person doing that, and I'm definitely not the first person doing that.
Right.
There's a couple guys that have some really, really big channels that have been doing it for a year or two or whatever. One of them I actually worked with. There's a guy on TikTok named T-Ray. I don't know if y'all know who that is or not, but he's probably got 250,000 followers or something like that. He's got a big channel. But he started doing lives down in the Gulf of Mexico a couple years ago when a hurricane was rolling through. He got enough people to go live to like film the craziness. Yeah. And during that time period, his channel really blew up. But he does so he can't go live anymore on the tugboat. The company he contracts with asked him not to. So all the lives that he's doing now are while he's off the boat. He's got one of these little they call them camps down in Louisiana, but basically it's like he built a shed on top of a floating platform. Yep. And he wires in a little aluminum bass boat to the back of it and pushes it around the bayous and shit. And it's dope. I mean, he's got a fireplace in this thing and bunk beds and a full bathroom kitchen.
Oh, dude, we got to talk to somebody who does this. This sounds fucking.
He does it every weekend. He pushes it out in the sandbar.
Yeah. Do you know him?
Do I know him?
Yeah.
Yeah, we worked on the same boat together for like 4 or 5 years.
See there, Alex, hook us up and we get a guy that we can talk to from Louisiana that has a fish camp in Louisiana that's what he does. What's T-Ray? T-Ray. So T-Ray,
like
aka Trey.
His name is Raymond.
Trey. T-Ray. Hey, Paul. Hey, Paul.
Look, man, I got the Bluetooth connected to the Monocaster.
Well, don't.
I just turned the volume down. Don't judge me. Bitch,
I am judging you.
You don't even have a soundboard.
I don't need one because you're playing your stupid fucking TikToks on the goddamn.
I'm trying to find our next guest.
Andrew, what's your plan if TikTok gets shut down?
We were actually talking about that earlier. My plan would probably be to just not do a damn thing.
Yeah.
Just, like I said, this is kind of a, I'll check it out and see what it's about and see how it does. And if it does good, great. And if not, that'll be fine too. And it's, it's been more successful quicker than I expected. I mean, I don't think I'm breaking any records or blowing anything out of the water, but it's been mildly successful for me.
Yeah.
I think my end game was to try to get enough people that I could have a TikTok shop, affiliate links and like a merch line and see how that goes as well.
I mean, you can see what's that.
Is it Tug? No, what's his name there, Captain?
I think it's like Captain T-Ray or it's got something T-Ray.
Captain Trey.
I can't look. So down in Louisiana, that T dash whatever means like uncle, like
really?
like T-Bob or T-Joe would be, or no, excuse me, it means little, like Lil Ray or Little Bob. Like T-Ray would be like Lil Ray, or like T-Bob would be Little Bob.
T-Alex, Little Alex.
It should have been T-Wayne instead of Little Wayne. It should have been T-Wayne.
Yeah, there you go. That's right.
Okay,
is that him?
Can see that dipshit.
I can't see it.
Yeah, it's like dealing with your grandpa. He's like, "Come look at my phone. Look at it. It doesn't work."
I got him. I'm going to send him a message and ask him if he uses, if he's, never mind.
Is he like normal or is he like super Louisiana?
No, he's normal. I mean, he'll definitely hear that Louisiana accent, but he's not like down the bayou Cajun. Like, he's
so
normal,
we got to get
Cajun.
him on because that'd be fun. But then we also have to get like somebody fully feral, just like they're wearing overalls at all times, right? But no shirt, just rolled up to their knee.
Right.
That's what. Yeah, just eating gator.
He's intelligent and articulate.
See, that's great. But I also want the other end of it where they're just like,
hey.
Well, just get one of his deckhands to hop on with him, and you'll have it all.
Okay.
Or you got T-Bo, and then you got T-Ray. We'll get them. We'll get them all on.
So the company he works for actually has a boat named after him called the T-Ray.
No shit.
Yeah.
Damn. Huh. Hey, I'm a little disappointed in my co-host Alex.
Okay.
Actually, I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed. I mean, I'm so disappointed. I don't even know if I want to be here anymore. Captain, you grew up doing country shit and being out in the woods. You're on a tugboat tugging throughout the middle of the night when everybody else is asleep down the intercoastal tugway.
He's tugging all night.
Tugways. And you probably come up to some areas that you've already talked about, the Chawam River, where y'all go up and there ain't nothing out there and this and that.
Oh, shit.
So you've maybe seen some fucking weird shit out in the night.
Yeah.
From all your experiences. We play a little game on this show. It's called Marry, Fuck, Kill. You ever played it?
I have.
Okay. Well, we're going to play the Bass and Brews version of Marry, Fornicate, Annihilate. And you have Bigfoot, aliens, and Loch Ness Monster. Who you going to marry, who you going to fuck, who you going to kill?
I think I'm going to marry the aliens.
Mm-hmm. Really?
I'm going to kill Bigfoot.
Oh, come on.
You don't want no big old, you don't want a big, tall, hairy woman.
And I'm going to give it to Nessie.
So wait, I want to make sure we're clear. This is what you're fucking.
No, he's marrying.
He's marrying.
Yeah.
But somehow you're going to kill this fine specimen of a creature.
That's right.
And I get that you're going to fuck that. Like, that's Nessie in my eyes.
Nessie, that's right.
Huh, that's, why Nessie?
So I don't think Nessie exists, so that's easy. Okay. Bigfoot, there's a chance that's real. That's the issue.
Oh.
It probably was real at some point.
Wipe that off the map. And aliens are 100% real. There's a good chance they'll be running this show one day. I might as well go ahead and be good with the family.
Why do you say that? What has happened to you on your tugboat that makes you so adamant that aliens are real?
No, aliens are real. It's got nothing to do with my tugboat. Like
have you had a personal experience with the alien?
No.
You just know they're real.
Oh, I know they're real because our federal government finally declassified a bajillion documents during COVID while nobody was paying attention. And there is real life footage from our own fighter jets of crazy shit happening.
I know which one you're talking about. The
the Tic Tac videos.
Yep, the Tic Tac videos. Yep.
And
so people don't know, a bunch of these videos got released, and they're from these fighter jets from this carrier group, and it's out like in the middle of the ocean, and this thing looks pretty legit to where this thing looks like a Tic Tac, but the fighter pilot's like trying to catch up to it and he just can't, and then all of a sudden it'll like stop. So it's going faster than a fighter jet, but then also stopping on a dime all of a sudden, and then accelerating so fast it's just gone. The video is crazy, and I'm with you. I think aliens are real. I hope that they don't look like Mars Attack aliens like we just showed. I hope they look like species aliens that we used to have a clip for, but I lost. Like sexy aliens. Like, do you think they're going to be sexy aliens or like grays?
No, they were all in all the documents they released. There was photos and videos of the actual specimens that our country has had in their possession for decades. Like, you can actually see what they look like. I mean, whether you believe the United States government or not, they've either been lying for a long, long time about them not existing, or they're lying now about them existing. There's been way too many sightings and interactions with them for the last 100 years.
So what did they look like? Did they look like
They
the
look
gray
like
that-
exactly what you think they look like.
Big heads,
think-
little skinny bodies, like fucking ET.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh no! See,
Yeah,
in my
fuck them
head, they
bitches.
look
I
like
don't want that
no,
shit.
They
No.
got big
I-
tits. They're really awesome. They're super frisky. That's the aliens in my head.
Look, I feel like if aliens come to Earth, that it's gonna 100% be killer clowns from outer space aliens.
all of our perception of what an alien looks like, the little cartoon thing with the big head and the big eyes and
Sure.
3 fingers and a gray body and shit, all that comes from drawings that were made by people that have seen them in the past, people that we called crazy and put in loony bins.
That's true.
All those people have been deemed not crazy, and a lot of those stories have been were corroborated, and it was just hidden. It was just swept under the rug by the government. That's a crazy person. It didn't happen. And now the government said that it did happen. They weren't crazy. Here's all the shit to prove it. But nobody's
Captain
paying
Andrew
attention because we were too busy worrying about getting the jabs.
Captain Andrew must have been so much fun to be with on night walks, right? You guys got to, you got to have that watch overnight where it's like late at night and it's just a couple dudes up. This is the kind of talk that makes those nights wonderful. When somebody's just like, yeah, they're fucking aliens are real. And
They
you're
are
like,
real.
bro, I'm with you, but it's 2 a.m. But yeah, fuck it. Let's talk about fucking aliens.
Go
seen-
load the guns up because I'm getting a little freaked out here.
I've seen one
Yep.
thing in my career that made me go, that was weird. And there was another person in the wheelhouse with me. So 2 of us at the same time saw the same thing and did the like, did you see that? I was like, yep. Did you see that? And I still don't know what it was. And honestly, the only reasonable explanation, because it didn't seem like it was a spaceship or something, is maybe I saw ball lightning and didn't know what that was at the time.
Yep.
We were in this long canal. It's called the A&P Canal. It's like a 22-mile long canal. It's about, 100 feet wide, 200 feet wide, and just long and narrow. No phone service, trees down either side. And this ball came out of nowhere. And this is all in, less than a fraction of a second. Stopped for less than a fraction of a second and disappeared into the woods. Just that fast.
I don't know if that would be ball lightning.
It was just that.
Yeah,
Like
that seems.
And we were like, what the fuck was that?
That's like that could have been a backwoods methamphetamine addict.
It could have been.
They might have been so hyped up that they were jumping.
It was T-Ray running around in his fucking bio.
T-Bone.
That's right.
It's T-Bone.
T-Bone. It's T-Bone. Yeah, not
T-Bone.
T-Ray. T-Ray's a good dude. T-Bone, on the other hand, is a little bone. Little bone's a little crazy.
I saw a kangaroo in the swamps down in Louisiana one time jumping around.
A kangaroo.
A kangaroo. And I told the crew about it the next day, and they were like, what the fuck were you smoking last night? I'm like, I'm telling you. We were pushed up on a bank. We had a barge pushed up on a bank in New Iberia Canal, waiting on fog. There was some fog setting in. And I was pushed up on the side, pushed up to the bank, spotlight down on the bank, and I seen this little thing moving around. I thought it was a deer, just in the woods, see an animal like that. But it had a weird like gait. So I thought, oh, it's a deer with like a messed up leg or something. So it's walking funny. And it came out from behind this tree, and it wasn't, I don't know, maybe the barge is 100 feet wide at another 150 feet away from me or so. I put the spotlight on it and looked at it in binoculars, and it was plain as day, a kangaroo right there, and hopped off the other way.
That's fucking crazy. Hey, what's the scariest thing you've ever had happen while barging, while tugboating?
Ooh, barging.
I've had a couple scary moments. The scariest for me, though, or what stands out the most for me, is I had a barge partially break in half.
Shit.
While we were pushing underway. It broke at a seam. So this was a long time ago, back before we had nice new fresh barges back in the day where everything was wore out and old and raggedy. And the barge already had an issue taking on water in one of the voids that we were constantly pumping out. But a seam inside the bin had split. We got in some really bad conditions in the barge. So those barges are steel. People think they're rigid, but they do like this. You can see them go up and down in rough weather. And one of the seams in the bin had split, and all that water that was in the void below it started coming up into a bin, which is a problem. Water in the void's no big deal. We ballast those down all the time. Free moving water in the bin is a problem. So it was out in the bay. We had all the lights off. It was dark, and I kept noticing that the barge wanted to kind of track one way. I kept having to recorrect, and it would track and recorrect. And I flipped the light on, like, what the hell's going on? And that barge was like 7 foot of draft on one side,
Damn.
no foot of draft on the other. And I was like, oh my God, holy shit, we're going down. We did not go down. Thank God for 3-inch diesel pumps and all that sort of shit. We kept it afloat and got it to where it needed to go and got her fixed up.
Damn. What happens if you were going down? Are you going down with the ship? Are you the last one off?
Nah, hell no. Nah, that's not a thing that happens. We're all making it off. We're all going home.
So are y'all putting on life jackets and jumping and trying to swim away? Because when big boats sink, don't you have to worry about them pulling you down?
Barge.
You can get away from the barge.
To some degree, but I can dump I've got 2 buttons. The winches are electric. I can dump slack into the winches. And you can dump slack into those and just back like hell. I'll break all those wires and we'll
just fuck the barge and your boat's safe.
Yeah, we're good. Now, if the boat's going down, we're getting on the barge. If they're both going down, we're super fucked and we're gonna need a lifeboat or something.
Yeah.
The chances of both of them going down simultaneously is because they're 2 separate units. It would have to be some crazy shit to sink everything all at once.
The motherfucking alien's gonna come visit you one night. And
whatever is floating best. Whatever's floating the best, we're all getting on
That's
that.
what we're getting on.
Yeah.
It's not the aliens. It's going to be that fucking dude who's like, you saw my fucking kangaroo, asshole. I'm sinking your fucking boat.
Hey, is there if you do have to get off the boat, the tugboat, is there anything in there that you're going to go try to save and bring with you before
You better say Astroglide.
Yeah, my backpack.
Okay.
It's got all your shit in it.
Yeah, it's got my whole life in it.
That's wild. Your whole life is in a fucking backpack. That's crazy.
Yep, and it never leaves. I'm within eyesight of it right now. It goes everywhere with me.
All right, so that brings up a good point. Kayak anglers a lot of time get all pissed off because they got to wear a life vest when we're tournament fishing, and they get upset about, oh, it's hot, blah blah blah. My vest is part of me. My vest has my phone, which is tethered to it in one pocket. The other pocket has my keys and my wallet. And then I've got my little cutters and clippers and shit like that. So there's not a lot in there, but if something were to happen and my kayak was to flip over, I have my wallet, my fucking keys, and my phone, and they ain't going nowhere unless I'm going with them. And
I do the exact same thing.
I always keep this. I keep that because I can still get home. I still got my credit cards, my license, all that shit. And then I can always call for help if I need it. All that shit is in my life vest, and it ain't going nowhere.
If I'm by myself, if I'm kayaking alone, like tomorrow, I think I'll probably put the kayak in tomorrow and go do some fishing, and that'll be by myself. If I'm alone on a kayak, I 100% have a vest on. I'm not kayaking. You know, sometimes if we're out in some of these mangrove flats where there's no current and the water's 8 feet deep, 6 feet deep, whatever, you can stand up in it, and I've got another person with me, I'll take that thing off to breathe out. But if I'm by myself, that thing doesn't come off of me. Weird shit happens to people. You always hear stories about, we don't really know what happened to the guy. He was out there by himself, and now we don't know.
Oh, he was a good swimmer. He could swim all day long. Motherfucker drowned. What kind of fishing you gonna go fish for tomorrow?
Probably sheep's head.
Do you eat them?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't. Delicious.
I fish because I like to eat fish.
There we go.
I mean, I enjoy fishing, but I love eating fish.
Do you ever pull all their teeth out and start to keep them and put them in jars around your house so people think that you're collecting human teeth?
No, because I'm not completely unhinged.
Would your wife let you do that if you wanted to?
No.
This is the new TikTok channel. It's you go out fishing, and then when you catch a sheep's head, you keep one tooth.
Yeah, you
drill a hole,
you extract one tooth.
And you put it on a fucking necklace, and then you just show off the necklace on the channel as it starts growing.
Better yet, those little decorative bowls that people have rocks and shit in? Just get your decorative bowl and just start putting all your sheep's head teeth in it.
I'll just fill up this lamp right here.
Yo, that's perfect. Dude, how long would it take your wife to realize that you were filling up that lamp with sheep? If you just start putting 3 or 4 sheep's head teeth in there at a time, how long would it take her to realize?
She would notice right away.
Really?
Yeah, and I can tell you why.
Angry?
Because we were sitting here eating dinner tonight, and she kept looking up at the shelf across from the table, and I could tell something was bothering her. And finally, she was like, "I don't know about this new cleaning girl. She doesn't put anything back where it's supposed to go." And I'm looking, I'm like, "What's out of place?" And it was like a little rabbit was turned 45 degrees the wrong way, and this little picture frame was 15 degrees the other way.
Yeah, but
and
this is even better. Hold on, this is better. You just said that you have a housekeeper. You just blame it on the housekeeper.
Blame it on
like,
her.
Babe, I don't know why she's putting fucking teeth in our lamp.
Those look like people teeth. Where
Those
are
might be
human teeth coming from?
Those might be children's teeth. She might be setting us up.
They're children's teeth.
Them's fertility teeth.
I gotta look them up. Like, what's worse, a sheep's head mouth or a tautog mouth? Because
sheep's head mouth looks like your mouth, though. I mean, it looks like people teeth.
Yeah,
so do the
same.
Is it tautog? Is that how you say it?
Tautog has people teeth.
Yeah. So I caught some of those up in Moorhead one winter, and nobody knew what they were because I guess they don't really come down that far south that often.
Yeah, they don't.
But I guess it was a really cold winter, and we caught. It was over the course of about 2 or 3 days. We caught probably half a dozen of them. We were like, "What the fuck are these things?"
Dude, did you guys eat them?
Yeah. After we figured out what they were, we were like, "Yep, gotta eat that."
They're so much better than sheep's head is delicious. I think tautog is hands down better.
How do you prepare your sheep's head?
All the ways. Depends on what I'm in the mood for, but my go-to is blackened in a taco.
No kidding. Better than deep fried?
It's hard to say that anything's better than deep fried, but I get tired of eating deep fried fish all the time, to be quite honest. So blackened in a taco is quick and easy.
I can't stand fucking deep fried fish, especially when it's a good fish, right? I feel like you're ruining it. Deep fried is for catfish and fish that aren't awesome by themselves, right? But a grilled fish taco is way better than a fucking fried fish taco, hands down.
I agree. I agree with that statement. Yeah, for sure. But there's I don't know. I grew up in the South eating fried flounder and coleslaw and French fries and shit, and it's hard for me to beat that as a meal as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Fried flounder, that's a fine
shit. Fried flounder is the only thing close to fried flounder are 8-pound plus fried bass.
So here's a crazy thing. I didn't know my entire life that people ate bass because I didn't really do any freshwater fishing ever growing up. And then, my only exposure to that was watching bass tournaments, and they always go back in the water. So probably, I don't know, about 5 years ago, I was on Lake Thurman, Clarksville area, camping with a buddy, and we were running lines for catfish and shit, and ended up catching some crappie and some bass. And I was about to let the bass go, and he's like, "What are you doing? You want to let it go?" He's like, "No, keep that." And I'm like, "You eat this?" And he's like, "Yeah, they're delicious." And I was like, "I don't think people eat these." And he's like, "Trust me, people eat these." And then when we fried everything up that night, I was like, "Fuck catfish and fuck crappie." That's where it's at. Why haven't I been eating these my whole life? They're delicious.
Whoa. Really? You think they tasted better than crappie?
Yeah, I don't even like catfish.
Yeah, I don't like catfish.
I could never eat catfish and be okay with that. Yeah, I thought
if I fried catfish, if I fried catfish, crappie, and bass, and put them out there, and you tasted,
could you tell the difference?
Could you tell the difference in the three?
I can tell you the difference between the catfish and everything else.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say that I could tell the difference between the bass and the crappie in a blind taste test like that, but catfish, because every time I eat a piece of catfish, whether I know it is or not, I'm like, "Oh, what's wrong with that?" And I put it back down and don't eat it.
Yeah. So it's like putting hairy balls in your mouth. You're like,
We went out to eat not too long ago, and the people next to us, they're both like, "Oh my God, they have catfish on the menu. Should we get it?" And the husband's like, "Oh man, that's great. Yeah, we're going to get that." And me and my wife are like, "What the fuck are you?" The same menu had flounder and sea bass and all this other shit on there. And these fucking idiots are like, catfish. Yeah, catfish. That would be excellent.
I'll tell you what, I like fish. I like the majority of my fish fried. And we're sitting here talking about it. Fucking fried flounder is probably in the top 3 best fish ever.
It's really good. A fried flounder sandwich, right? With heavy, you put
that.
the slaw.
No, see, you can tell some motherfucker from Oregon is talking about fried fish now. Talking about fried fish sandwich. No.
Hold on.
That's why they make hush puppies, so you can get your fucking pansy ass bread in a hush puppy.
My favorite way to eat flounder is is the next day after it's been in the refrigerator fried, like it's fried in the refrigerator cold between two pieces of white bread.
I like mine cold. I like mine hot, fresh, and I'm dipping it in cocktail sauce. And the next day, I won't reheat any fried fish. I won't reheat. I eat it.
I don't
if
either. I eat it cold.
It's cold. It's got to be cold because if you reheat it, there is something scientifically that happens to reheated fried fish that just completely changes the texture and the flavor. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Also,
but it is
destroyed
trash.
your microwave too, because that smell is not gonna fucking leave anytime soon. Like, I used to work with a guy who would fry or microwave fish, and we're all trapped in this little space, like working, and he would fucking microwave fish, and it would drive me up the fucking wall because the whole fucking space would smell like dirty fucking microwave fish, and it's the worst.
When I was a wildland firefighter,
it should be a hate crime.
When I was a wildland firefighter, we had a guy that reheated his chitlins in the microwave, uncovered. And when he reheated food, I mean, he literally nuked it. Kenny's his name. Kenny reheated his chitlins in there, and he never covered them. So he reheating chitlins in the one microwave we had in the back in an office, and he never covered shit. So then you had chitlin juice dripping down on your food after you reheated it.
Gross.
I mean, it was crazy. Gross. And he reheated his food, and it was sound like popcorn's popping in there for like 5 minutes. Pow, 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 pow. And it's just fucking chitlin juice just going all over the damn place.
Andrew, what's your favorite fish to eat? Since you have mostly salt water, but you got some fresh water, what's your deathbed fish meal?
Triggerfish.
Triggerfish, fuck yes. Also super fun to catch. Yes. Like super frustrating and fun to catch at the same time.
Yeah.
I've never had triggerfish.
My favorite fish to eat.
How are you making
second
that up?
Would be flounder.
Flounders. So triggerfish, I found one, they suck at cleaning. I don't know about the trigger. You maybe have, you obviously probably have different triggerfish, but we have them up here in Jersey, and that they have that thick ass fucking skin that you got to get through. And then once you get to that, it's good, but it's a fucking pain
so you got to have a good sharp knife to get the fillet off. But then the skin just rips off like Velcro.
Okay. Yeah, mine was.
You literally just like get your finger up in there, and the skin just rips right off.
Pull. And what are you doing? You just cooking that with some butter or?
Yeah, salt, pepper, butter, maybe a little lemon.
All right. No dill?
Keep it simple.
Do any of you guys use dill when you cook fish?
No.
Paul?
Not fish, but I use a fuck ton of dill when I make tzatziki sauce and some other things.
So Amanda hates it.
It goes in there.
We used dill growing up all the time in the Northwest when we cooked fish. Right now, my wife fucking hates it because when I cook fish, I use a good amount of dill, and she's like, "Get that shit out of there!" Like, you just need.
I want no fucking rabbit food on my fish.
No, the dill is good. The dill is delicious in it.
Yeah, I'm not a dill. I mean, I like dill pickles and dill stuff like that. Like you said, tzatziki sauce, but I don't know that I've ever cooked with dill as an herb. Like you would.
See, so you don't even know
rosemary.
If you don't like it. No, you throw it on fish. You throw it on fish. It's delicious.
Fucking rosemary. If I wanted my food to taste like fucking pine, I would cook it over pine needles.
Oh, I like rosemary.
You like rosemary?
Yep.
I'm not a fan of rosemary.
I grew a whole hedge of it in the front of my last house so that I didn't have to keep buying it.
Yeah, and you know what? You can't ever kill that motherfucker.
Nope, that was the goal.
Yep.
It grew up quick and fast. And it smelled nice when you trimmed it.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, it's a delicious smell. I don't know. A little bit of rosemary's but I think people overuse that motherfucker way too damn much.
I agree.
And then it tastes like you're eating pine needles.
You don't want to overpower your food with it. But that's with anything. You don't want to use too much salt. You don't want to use too much pepper.
Or just fry fish consistently because you ruin the fish. Exactly, Andrew. We're talking the same language.
Speaking of that, how many do y'all like hot cock?
What?
Hot
I'm not
cock.
a dickhand.
Sriracha.
I'm not a dickhand for
hot cock.
Oh,
Huey Fong sriracha sauce. Hot cock.
Yeah.
it's
It's
not my
got
favorite.
the rooster and it's hot sauce.
Yeah.
We keep a bottle of it in the house. My wife's a fan. I can take it or leave it.
Okay. So a little backstory. There was this ranch that Huey Fong, I can't remember. Anyway, hot cock, the original sriracha, got all their peppers from. And y'all may or may not remember, not too long ago, there was a sriracha shortage. You couldn't find it anywhere of this specific brand, Huey Fong brand. Well, come to find out, the person who grew the peppers, the red jalapenos, and Huey Fong had a falling out.
Mm-hmm.
And now, damn it, I can't remember. Hold on, I'm going to get the name. So I just learned this, and I'm going, ooh, because sriracha tastes different. It
does taste different now.
Yes.
It doesn't have, it's because sriracha isn't necessarily hot, but there's a
flavor.
There's a flavor profile.
Yes.
There's a pepper hot profile that's missing.
Yes. But
I
now
learned
it's just hot.
No, you little bitch.
I think sriracha. Well, I think now it's just about
Huey
the
Fong.
heat.
If we're talking about hot cock,
Yes, we are. Now it's just more heat. Before it had more flavor. And Paul, I can go even more deep. What happened is that as it was growing up and getting bigger and bigger, the owners of sriracha basically pressured this farm to keep making peppers. And this farmer ended up converting. He was doing like soybeans and some other stuff, right? So he converted his entire farm to make these peppers for sriracha. And then sriracha backed out of it. And now
there's a story. It doesn't fucking matter because the sriracha you need to get now, and I am a little sad because I loved calling it hot cock.
Yes.
Because you always got the expression that y'all both gave me when I asked you if you like hot cock.
Well, we've talked about Dick Hands, Astroglide, and hot cock on this episode.
I know. This is a good episode.
The title of the episode is going to be Getting Dirty with Sailors.
No, Getting Dirty with Cat Mandrew. No, Sexy Talk with Cat Mandrew. But anyway.
Tug Talk with Cat
Mandrew. So I've got to
Hold on. Damn it, Andrew. This is my fucking podcast. Don't interrupt me. I got to finish my story. All right. It's called Underwood Ranches. I ordered this because everybody said that this was I'll be fucking damned too. I got that shit the day I got it. I opened it up. I started pouring it on shit. It is the fucking real sriracha. It is. I also bought some samba, and I also bought some chili sauce, and I'm super excited about those. But you can find it on Amazon. We are not sponsored by them. Even though Underwood Ranches, if you would like to sponsor a shitty fishing podcast that doesn't talk about fishing, we're here for you. And if anybody has a connection or if y'all want to tag them and tag Bass and Brews, you're welcome to do that. I think it would be wonderful if we had a chili sauce and an Astroglide. Well, no, it's not hot cock anymore because they're different. The cock it and all that anyway. It would be really cool if we had a Astroglide and hot sauce sponsorship, and we could probably come up with some really cool cross-marketing advertisements that would work for everyone.
Does your lady want to feel like her crotch is on fire? Why don't you get on down with Bass and Brews hot cock sauce from Underwood Ranches?
Yeah, there you go. That is the Bass and Brews blend of Astroglide.
Yep. It's your weekly distraction from high quality lubrication.
Yeah. It gives you it lubes. It gives you a tingle with your lube.
Here's your slogan: all the heat with none of the friction.
Are you a woman? Are you a married woman with 2+ kids and would rather have sex with not your husband and just yourself? Well, Bass and Brews Astroglide is just for you. What did you say, Catman?
All the heat with none of the friction.
All the heat with none of the friction. You can do it yourself.
Listen, here at Bass and Brews, we really, we really encompass the whole do-it-yourself movement, and that's why we've come together with Astroglide. Is your man bugging you for sex and you just refuse to give it up? Astroglide's for you. Make sure to have all that heat with none of the friction.
What were you going to say a second ago when you tried to rudely interrupt me and then I had to shut you up?
So a buddy of mine, he's got his TikTok thing going on, and they sell merch and whatnot. It's actually his hat that I'm wearing.
Okay.
So who's this TikTok guy?
It's called Real Deal Sport Fishing. He's a charter out of Clearwater.
I think I know who that is, actually.
Yep. One of the hats he sells says Fish Talk, fish TOK with the little hook or whatever. I'm like,
yep,
I gotta have a Tug Talk hat.
Tug Talk, man.
Tug
Talk.
Talk.
Yeah, he's live right now. We should all hop on his live.
He's rebuilding one of the motors out of one. He's got 2 charter boats. He's rebuilding a motor out of one of them that took a shit on him a week ago. So he's in his garage. Yeah, he's in his garage live right now. He has been all day.
What's his name?
Real Deal. Just type in Real Deal, EELDEAL, and it'll come up. Sport fishing.
Yeah, that's Captain Steve Potter. He's actually the reason that I started going live on TikTok. So I appreciate him for that.
Him and T-Ray.
Him and T-Ray. Yep.
And then you know what that got you?
He's yelling at somebody right now.
That got you on a podcast.
That got you on fucking Bass and Brews.
That's right.
There
TikTok,
you go.
Just steady opening up doors.
Well,
ain't that the shit? Well, every door that you've opened from TikTok is about to be fucking shut after this podcast goes live.
Could be. We'll see.
Could be. Yeah, I mean, so back to your well, hold on. Let's just do a general search on TikTok. Let's see what happens. We're going to play a game here real quick. I'm sure this is really exciting for people, but I don't give a shit. I'm going to look up Tug Talk and see what actually pops up.
There's a solid chance I'm the only person using that hashtag.
No, there's a really hot chick. It's not you.
Oh.
Yep. Smoke show, dude. You've got to get way cuter. Is she brown headed? No, she's blonde. Her name is Aubrey Petra, and she is a captain of a tugboat. This lady would make me go back to sea again.
So I know 2 female captains. One of them is in the Gulf, and one of them works for our company.
I'm surprised that when you type in hashtag Tug Talk, that it's actually about tugboats. I literally thought you were going to get the
jerk off videos.
Yeah. The come to my onlys fans.
Oh,
where lubrication is secondary. I don't know, whatever.
Something for you, Andrew. So I saw this today, and this is for everybody else, right? So I logged on to YouTube today, and YouTube has a new feature, and the new feature is vertical video live streaming. You've never been able to do that before on YouTube.
Imagine that.
And I went and looked. Yeah, exactly. With the ban that will, I don't know what's going to happen. Will it happen? Won't it? I don't know. But now
that's like every time you and Amanda have relations.
Vertical live streaming.
Well, no. So, will it happen? Is it going to happen? I don't know.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
So TikTok started doing landscape video options now. I'm sure you've seen those. That happened about a month ago. And if you make videos in that landscape format that are over 3 minutes long, they push them to the algorithm harder because they're trying to compete with. Yeah, they were trying to compete with.
Yeah, YouTube. Are you making money? Do you make any money off of your lives?
Yes,
he does. Yeah.
Are you making like
all the roses,
pocket change, or are you making vacation money?
I could go on vacation with what I've made so far.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Every time somebody gives you a rose, do you go, "Thank you for the rose. Thank you for the rose"?
No, I don't do that.
Paul,
Glizzy.
Paul went through a phase where he would go live and he would do that. He would just do the live.
It wasn't a phase. It was like 3 times. Matter of fact,
that's a phase.
The one of the times that I did it for Bass and Brews, we made like $30.
No, $60. It was $60. Oh no, because we had to split it with Jake Hartman.
Well, here's the deal.
Harshman,
I've gone live on mine with Alex, and then we've done it with 2 or 3 other people before as a group thing. And the next day, they're like, dude, I made like fucking $40 yesterday. I made $80 yesterday.
Yeah.
I look at mine, I made $2.
Yeah.
And I'm the one that was doing all the shit.
This is what happens when you're a host and a co-host. Just like Captain said here, he gets his own stateroom, right? That's what pays to be at the top. Like you're my
don't
mate,
complain
I'm
about the amount of
captain.
work that you have to do that I don't do any, because if you're going to be at the top, motherfucker, you're in charge.
Listen, I
didn't leave you. I didn't leave you for 9 months to run this show by yourself.
It wasn't 9 months. It was 13 actually, but
it was 13 if you add up the couple little tours
the whole
before
time.
and then the last. Yeah.
All right. Well, like I can't tell if you're trying to like guilt me or.
I want Captain Andrew to show us. I want him to choose. Captain Andrew, Alex and I show up at your dock. The next morning, you show up to work.
Yep.
And you come walking down the dock with your backpack on, and Alex and I are standing at the door of your boat.
Hold on, how you said that? Now I picture Captain Andrew, but drawn as Dora the Explorer with her backpack. Like, it's my backpack. I've got a map. It's a map.
You come walking down the dock with your backpack on. You look up. Alex and I are standing at the door to your boat. Whatever the fuck it's called.
And we want a fully honest answer here.
And you gotta kick. You gotta literally 300 kick one of us off the boat and hug the other one. Who you choosing?
You mean, what do you mean? Like to be an employee?
No, motherfucker, you're not listening. When you're walking up to the boat, when you get to where we're standing, you got to kick one of us in the chest off the boat like Spartan, the 300 Spartan movie. And then the other one you got to hug.
Oh, well, I'm going to kick Alex and I'm going to hug Paul.
Oh,
there we go. See?
I feel like Alex is at a disadvantage here, though.
Well, he is at a disadvantage because for you to kick him, if you kick too high, you're going to miss. Like, you pretty much have to punt him.
We're the same height.
Right, which is why I'll never be able to kick him in his chest.
Well, no, you'll be able to kick him in his gut, and that's
everything's backwards. Him, yeah,
it is backwards. I like that question though.
Andrew,
you have.
Do you want to know, Andrew, that you and I have met like 500 times? Alex and I have never met.
We've never met. We've done 156 episodes of the OG Bass and Brews. That doesn't mean all like the lives.
And Andrew and I have slept in a cabin that you could see the ground through the wood slats in.
Yeah, we've probably literally shared a sleeping bag at least once.
We probably have.
So
Camp Wildwood.
Which one of you used the happy sock, and which one of you went into the shared sleeping bag?
Nope. It was a co-ed camping wildlife leadership trip.
Even better.
There was no
which
socks
is
needed.
wild, which is even more wild to think about. So I don't think that's a thing anymore.
No.
Hey, but I was camper of the week my first year.
Were you?
You fucking dork.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Our first year, your first year would have been my first year.
Yeah. Yeah. What was that? 97? 97 or 98, right? 98.
Oh no, I'm not calling him a liar. I have a really bad memory. all that time of my life is kind of a blur.
Hold on. Captain says that he has a bad memory, but he spout out some stuff about aliens real fucking quick.
That wasn't that long ago.
Bitch, that was 4 years ago when COVID was like 8 years long by itself.
Yeah, no shit, right? That's what it felt
We're
like.
talking about high school. I had my years after high school have made everything prior to that blurry.
Mine too, buddy. Mine too. I played college football, and I didn't give a shit about school. Yes, I did.
Play college football.
Yes, I did.
Not.
Yes, I did.
You were a fucking punter, and you weren't even starting punter.
I played in 3 games. So go fuck yourself a little short.
Listen, go back to the coach episode where I got super fucking drunk and shit.
I'm gonna have to take his side on this too, because I also kicked for a football team, and I damn sure played football.
Yeah, but were you a field goal kicker or a punter?
Field goal kicker.
But no, yes, punters. No, but if you want to separate it out, though,
punting is a bitch.
You got to
Punting
catch
is not
every.
easy.
Yeah, to
punting's for
punt, you had to
bitches.
catch the
Yes.
ball,
No,
and then
punting
the
is
chances
hard.
you had to tackle somebody were much higher than if you were kicking field goals.
Listen, if you ask somebody to name a punter, they could probably only name one, and that's Pat McAfee. And that's just because he's an awesome person. That's nothing to do with his skills.
Well,
Nobody
you know
gives a
what?
fuck
One
about
day
that.
Pat
Because
McAfee
people don't
is
understand the skills it takes to punt a football down a football field and it not go
just-
straight up or straight fucking
Listen.
sideways.
Just have a good offense, and you don't need to punt. It's not a big deal.
That's not how it works, Alex. I bet if you
played a
gave
lot of
Alex a
football.
football and told him to throw it, it would look like a kickoff. I guarantee you that bitch could throw a spiral.
Ooh.
If his nuts were going to be
first
cut
try?
off.
Like first try spiral?
Yeah.
Probably fucking not, to be honest.
All right, so pretend you got a football and throw it.
Yeah.
Let me see your form.
Isn't that how it
Just
goes?
throw it
Isn't that how it goes?
There you go. This bitch just threw a football with two hands.
Listen, I didn't play football, but I have played football. I have at least
No, you didn't.
5,000 games of football in Madden. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Mm.
I love the silence for that. All right.
Hey, well, Captain, is there anything that would make, I don't know, fuck, I'm lost now.
Yeah, you are.
I don't even know what to do anymore. Hey, Alex.
It's all right. What's up?
Hey, Alex.
Yeah.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. If you look at me long enough, your eyes are gonna turn to tosis.
All right, Andrew. Hey, we're gonna hit the only scripted part of the show. We're gonna hit the world famous shotgun round. But before we get there, I want to give you a chance to shout out whoever you'd like, give thanks.
Whoa, motherfucker! What happened to the damn little wow
I haven't gotten
music?
to that part yet.
Oh,
It will
sorry.
hit after
I didn't mean to
this.
interrupt
Thanks.
you.
Yep.
Forget everything that
so,
just happened, Captain. Forget everything that just happened.
So this is your opportunity to shout out whatever you'd like.
Do you have any sponsors or anybody that you want to say thank you for allowing you to be on this
Astroglide for
podcast?
Tug Life.
I
Yes.
definitely don't have any sponsors. If I was going to shout out anybody, it would be Real Deal Charter Fishing. Check
Hell
them out.
yeah.
He's a great guy. He's got a hell of
Nice.
a thing going on with his social media. Go fishing with him if you can. Amazing dude.
I followed him. So your wife is just like, to hell with her.
I had to fight my wife to get TikTok just to watch my live. So yeah,
Does she
Perfect
watch your
answer.
lives?
she does now, and she actually really enjoys them. So I'm
Oh,
glad
does
she
she?
did.
Yeah. My wife has never listened to one single second of this podcast and never will.
Mind you, we're at 100. You're going to be episode 157. 3 years running. She hasn't listened to one.
Oh my God! Look at the puppy dog. It's a beagle. It's a
It is a
beagle.
That's not
What's
a
his
beagle.
name?
No, I can already tell that dog identifies as a German Shepherd.
This is Rigby, and he is a massive pain.
Why is he a pain?
Because he's a beagle, but we love him all the same.
But I have not heard him bark or howl yet, so he can't be that big of a pain in the ass.
Oh, he does. Trust me. It's late at night, and he's winding down.
Oh, does he ever wake up in the middle like just for no reason? Just
Yes,
wake up.
All the hound dog things.
Yep.
How many foxes has he befriended and then had to fight off a bear?
None. I live in Florida.
All right.
He's got
There's
he's
big
got a
ass
hell of a-
bears in Florida.
He's got a hell of a rivalry with the neighborhood rabbits, though.
Oh, does he? Has he caught him yet?
No, he got hit by a car trying to catch one.
What?
Oh, shit.
Yep, bolted out the door after the rabbit smack into a car. I guess the rabbit made it.
Damn
All right,
it.
we're gonna hit
Well, he's
the,
obviously okay. Did he cost you a
he's
lot of
fine.
money?
Cost us a lot of money to find out he was okay. Which I guess that's better than him not being okay.
That's true. But all right, it's time.
Oh wait,
You
I got
ready?
a tinkle.
All right, go
Can
tinkle.
you talk for like 2 minutes while I go pee pee?
Yeah, go. It's not going to be 2 minutes. Go. You're not going to wash your hands. It takes like 30 fucking seconds. Andrew, he's literally the worst. I don't know how you grew up with him and then still associate with him.
So it was only a 1 week every summer for 3 summers.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, because I've been trying to find a new co-host for. Paul's been on since episode 9. I've been trying to find a new co-host since episode 15, and
wow.
yeah, it's I mean, it's kind of my fault that, you know, I'm enabling the shitty podcast and letting him just run wild. But yeah, it's getting out of hand at this point. I also came up with a good idea for merch. You could do Tug Life.
Yeah, so Tug Life is if it's not trademark, I'd be willing to bet it's trademark. That's actually a really common phrase within the industry.
Fuck.
There's tons and tons of Tug Life merch.
Here's how you beat it. You spell it like the young kids do. You do Tug normal, but for life you do LYFE.
I don't know what Alex is talking about. I missed it because I had to go pee. But if Alex is telling you how to spell anything, forget everything he just fucking said. Do not listen to him about spelling.
All right, here it comes.
It's time.
Boys and girls, let's see how far down the rabbit hole we can go today. Woo! It only takes one.
All right, this is the patent pending Bass and Bruce shotgun round. We're going to ask you a series of questions in a rapid fire manner. What we need from you is to answer the questions. But there's a couple caveats. One, we don't need an explanation unless we ask for it. And two, none of this like fucking wishy-washy bullshit of like, oh, it depends. None of that shit. We're going to go hard line. You got to pick one or the other. And like fair warning, we should have like some kind of disclaimer that comes at this point. The Brewskis, the Bass and Brews listeners are the most loving, wonderful bunch. But when it comes to the shotgun round, you will either be raised to the highest heights to become a serious angler or to the lowest lows of the dark waters. Are you ready?
Yep, I'm good either way.
Crocs or flops?
He's good either way.
I know, I like it. I like it. Crocs or flops? What do you got?
Flops.
Okay.
See, you can tell he's a fucking captain. He don't have to do no work. He can walk around in flip-flops, open-toe shoes.
You going to spend more on a rod or a reel?
A rod.
Okay, saltwater guy makes sense.
Not to me. Not to me. Saltwater guys, I'm thinking are spending money on reels, man. They got to have that drag. Like they fucking fighting fish. They ain't reeling in those shitty, stupid bass.
Yeah, but also like the salt is going to destroy whatever fucking reel you get.
But again, that's why having a good one is important.
Maybe. I think we already asked this, or we already covered this, but we'll ask it anyways. Do you eat largemouth bass?
I have once.
Okay.
So, yes.
And you loved it.
I would definitely eat it again, for sure.
All right, tomorrow you're going fishing, right? So you're on your way to launch your kayak. Are you listening to hype music, or are you listening to slow jams?
I always listen to hype music.
And what does that mean for you? What is hype music to you?
Rap.
Rap. Okay.
Trap rap specifically.
You've got to be fucking shitting me. No fucking way.
Nope. Not at all. Young Dolph is playing, guaranteed.
No. I can't tell if you're being sarcastic.
Is he the son of Dolph Lundgren?
Yes.
Dead serious. Dreams and Nightmares, Meek Mill, something like that, for sure.
Okay. Fuck yeah. All right, man. You are legitimately the first person to ever say that. Like I
say trap music. Yeah. Trap music. Yeah. Trap rap.
I took you as a Tyler Ward, who we had on the show a couple months back, who said Brooks and Dunn was his hype music. That's what I thought you were going to say.
Nah, negative. So I don't really fuck with country music.
So like on the tug, it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. You guys are doing your thing, and you're throwing on Meek Mill.
Yes.
All right. Fuck yeah. All right. I dig it.
Hey, do you have final say on what music or is playing or what's on the TV on the ship? Or do you let the guys choose? And if they choose some stupid shit, do you be like, not fucking done, turn it?
I have my own television in my room, so I let them have free reign over the galley television. They can watch whatever they want. But when it comes to music, wheelhouse music, nah, that's what I want.
It's nothing but 21 Savage.
Yeah, I like 21 Savage.
I fucking hate 21 Savage. But, I mean, to each their own. But he, 21 Savage has great beats. His lyrics.
Alex can't even spell 21, so it doesn't matter.
Fuck off. Anyways,
Andrew, he only has a GED.
I do, a good enough degree.
I don't even have a GED, sir.
Boom, and he's a captain. So
But you graduated high school.
I did not.
Well, see, there you go, Alex. Way to make
Paul.
him feel special.
Oh, Paul. Huh. And he's a captain. What are you doing now? You deal with trash all day. He's the captain of a boat.
You know what? I'm the captain of the crusher truck.
That seems like a dope gig.
Hey, look. Hey,
It's
you wake
boring.
up in the
Nope, don't get
morning,
him
you're
started.
pissed
Don't get him
off.
started.
Your wife is hollering at you because you didn't put the dishes or you forgot to start the dishwasher even though you hit the start button 5 times and the bitch's light went off and it still
fucking
didn't go.
start button.
It's your fault. You know, when I go to work and shit ain't going right, I get to go to work all day and tear shit up and get paid for it.
Paul has also tried to film his job because people with unique jobs get a lot of views sometimes, right?
I could, but
Paul
I can't
doesn't get
I
any
can't
views.
fucking
He
deal
gets
with
no
it, man.
views. All right,
Bullshit. People love my shit. My biggest TikTok video is almost 500,000 views, and it's literally me cranking up the truck.
That is true.
It's like 8 seconds. Yeah, that's it.
And I watched it probably 4 times to make sure I didn't miss something the first 3 times. I was like, wait,
What were you gonna miss?
Did I fast forward it? Like, did I miss half the video? What the fuck is this?
Yeah, but also his biggest video is also the y'all look where he just
that was a y'all look one. Y'all look, and that's what happens is people end up the y'all look videos that do the best are the ones when I'm in the grocery store.
Yes.
That's the ones that do
They're the
best.
worst. They're the worst.
Oh, it's fucking stupid as hell. It's the stupidest shit on TikTok. But the bitches get fucking thousands of views on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. I mean, YouTube.
Because everybody's trying to figure out, like, what is he fucking looking at?
Yeah.
I've got a buddy of mine that puts the most effort you've ever seen into videography and editing, and he does all like food content stuff. And his videos are amazing, and they do okay. His best video to date is eating a banana sitting on the back of his father's lawn care trailer. Like, what the hell?
Listen, we've had so many creators on this, and there's some specifically, Eduardo, I'm looking at you, who makes like these beautiful little
Eduardo.
Come fishing with me videos, right? And they're awesome, and like
who the fuck is Eduardo?
They're edited perfectly. They put color grading in. It looks wonderful. And I'm like, dude, you got only 700 followers, and that thing only got. And I'm like, what the fuck? I don't get it. I mean, TikTok's raw. They like seeing raw shit. That's kind of, they just want glimpses of life, I guess, is the right way.
But they ain't paying you unless that bitch is over a minute.
That is true. All right. If you're fishing for 5 hours, would you rather have 5 2-pound fish or 1 8-pound fish?
Oh,
7 pounder, but
1 8-pound fish.
1 8-pounder. Okay.
The fuck? Damn.
The
What'd your dog just do?
The cat and the dog are playing.
Oh, you got a kitty cat too?
Oh,
yeah, they're like Garfield and Odie. They just run around the house like morons.
Oh, what's your kitty cat's name?
Garfield.
Ronan.
Ronan. Can you pick him up? I want to see your kitty cat.
Nah, he's gone.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was what it was about. The cat was like.
Hey, also a quick tip for people: don't feed your cats lasagna. Awful idea. It's ridiculous. I'm missing some, Paul. Help me out here.
You know what? I'm tired of carrying you on this podcast. I'm 100% tired of carrying you. I have to do all the fucking work.
It does not.
Let me go to my Bass and Brews Don't Fuck Up While Alex is Gone list, which I still have. All right, we did. Ooh, pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
No.
Thank you.
Absolutely not.
If you look, see, I'm glad you said no. If you were going to say yes, we're going to have problems.
All right,
Wacky rig or Texas rig?
Texas rig.
Okay. Are you going to peg that Texas rig or no?
I don't even know what that means. I don't know the difference between the two because I don't bass fish.
Perfect.
This motherfucker just perfect. He did exactly what we asked him to do.
You told me to pick a hard line.
Pick it. And he said, hey, he answered that with such fucking conviction.
He did.
I thought he knew what he was talking about, and I would have never guessed he had. He could have kept talking about it, and I probably would not have known because he said it with conviction. Hey, this is the second most important question we're going to ask you all night, and the one after this is the most.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you eat beaver?
Yes.
How do you prepare it?
However it comes. No preparation needed.
You eat raw beaver?
There you go. Right off the side of the road if I have to.
Listen, if you want a really good tasting beaver, let me listen. We're not sponsored yet, but let me tell you about Astroglide. It's
Actually,
is that the one with the chili sauce mixed in?
exactly.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If you
That's why
take
we're
if
adding
you
it.
take the samba and you coat the beaver with samba and
Yeah.
then you smoke it, that's a whole different ball game right there. Give you some spice in with
It's
the beaver.
tough to get the beaver in the smoker though. Normally that's uncomfortable for
I don't even know what the fuck do you mean? The damn once
right.
you clean it, once you defur it and clean it, I mean it looks like a pretty much almost like a brisket. I mean it's a little bit smaller than a brisket.
It's usually got a cut in it, but I can't. All right. Every great angler loves a sandwich. And even a great sailor at this point, too. What are your top 3 sandwich proteins?
Hey, what has 1,000 teeth and is full
Shut
of
up.
semen?
Top 3 sandwich proteins.
Thank
Hard
you.
salami,
Okay. Hell yeah.
smoked turkey,
All right.
pulled pork.
Fuck yes.
My man,
All solid
holla.
answers.
Holla. Shot caller, 20-inch blades on the Impala.
I'm going to tell you what.
Gonna get filleted tonight. Catfish fillets tonight.
I'm still thrown off on the trap music. Like that has to be the first. Yeah, it's definitely the first time. That was good. Andrew, thank you so much for coming on. Hang out for a minute. We're gonna chit chat in the green room, but before we get there, we have important news, and this has to deal with.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
This is the worst.
Stop it. Just
It's like
end it now so we don't end it now. 7 seconds.